Hello, everyone. This is Minister William, and this is our first sermon for the Temple of Possibilities. And since this is the first time, I will just be recording it. Maybe sometime down the line, we will be doing these as live feeds if they become popular enough, and we get a considerable amount of audience. But anyway, we don't have any songs to sing or hymns or whatever. But I would like to start this off with a moment of silence. You can please take this time to pray or meditate or whatever it is in you to do. And yeah, so just a moment of silence. All right. I figured that being the first sermon of Temple Possibilities and the whole motto of this church or temple is when we all come together, the possibility is endless. So, today's sermon will be kindness. It was written by Lewis F. and posted on the Universal Life Church webpage. It talks about all the different, well, not all different, but a few ways different religions view kindness. So, let's get started. This is my simple religion. There is no need for temples, no need for complicated philosophy. Our own brain, our own heart is our temple. Philosophy is kindness. The Dalai Lama. Kindness is an ethical characteristic that includes pleasant behavior and concern towards others. It is a value and recognized as a value in many cultures, religions, and philosophies. The act of kindness is not only benefit the acts of kindness not only benefit the receiver of the act, but the giver as well. Here we will explore how Judaism, Buddhism, and Islam interpret and implement the value of kindness. Kindness in Judaism. Those who are kind benefit themselves, but the cruel bring ruin upon themselves. Proverbs 11:17. From the outside, Judaism is a religion that places major emphasis on law, strict rules, and the study of the Torah. These things are of importance in Judaism, but they are not the whole story. Love and kindness have been a part of the religion from the very beginning. Jewish law has 613 mitzvot. I am very sorry, I'm not how to pronounce that word, but commandments, essentially. Among these commandments are laws that Jewish folk should only eat kosher food, not turn on the lights on the Sabbath, and not work on the Sabbath. While many of the commandments are in the negative sense, meaning they denote something that should not be done, there are also many in the affirmative. The law commands us to love both Jews and strangers. Duet 10:19. The love of charity to the poor and needy. Duet 15:7. And not to wrong anyone in speech or business. Example, Exodus or whatever. Sorry. 22:20. I think that's an example. Yeah. I do apologize. When Jesus said that we should love our neighbors as we love ourselves, he was actually quoting from the Torah. More specifically, he was quoting from Leviticus, a book in the Bible that is most commonly taught as a book of full of harsh laws. A stranger who resides with you shall be to you as the native among you. You shall love him as yourself, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Leviticus 19:43. We all know the Ten Commandments command us not to murder. The Jewish law extends this law to include requiring us to protect our fellow neighbors. We are also not supposed to leave a condition that may cause harm, and to help a person whose life is in danger. These commandments concerning preservation of life are so important that they override ritual observation that are commonly thought of as the most important part of Judaism. Jewish law, while may not seem strict, is meant to be a blueprint for just an ethical society. Sorry, my tongue keeps getting tied. This is not merely an ideal. The way to achieving this way of life is spelled out in the 613 commandments. I'm just going to say commandments, like I said, I cannot pronounce that word. These commandments are meant to create a society where no one takes advantage or harms another, but rather one where everyone gives to each other, helps each other, and protects each other. This society is based on love and kindness. Therefore, it would be a mistake to think Judaism is above the law. The law is a means to the end, and that end is a prosperous society where people treat each other with love and respect and kindness. Kindness in Buddhism. All sentient beings desire happiness and do not desire misery. To think deeply about how, in this beginningless cycle of existence, there is not one sentient being who has not been my friend and relative 100 of times. Therefore, since there is no ground for being attached to some and hating others, I shall develop a mind of equanimity toward all sentient beings. Begin the meditation on equanimity by thinking of a neutral person and consider people who are friends and foes. The Dalai Lama, A Lifetime of Wisdom. Kindness in Buddhism is wrapped up in the concept known as met. This concept goes beyond just kindness. It consists of friendliness, goodwill, benevolence, and an archive of interest in others. It is one of the 10 harms, perfections of Theravada school of Buddhism. It is also the first of 4 sublime states. Met is a manifestation of friendship and nonviolence, and includes a strong wish for the happiness of others through patience, appreciation, and respectivity. This loving kindness is a specific caring for the well-being of other living creatures, free of approving and disapproving of them for expecting anything in return. Basically, be nice for free. Don't expect anything. Cultivating one's loving kindness. Bhavan is a form of meditation in Buddhism. Practicing includes reciting certain words or phrases in order to evoke feelings of warm-heartedness and visualizing the suffering of others. When met is applied to all beings, one experiences joy, one of 4 sublime states. Cultivating met to the highest end is a process one must first meditate and create met, bhavan, toward themselves. One is archived. Once this is archived, that person may work toward showing met to one's friends, family members, and teachers. From there, met must be extended to all neutral persons or strangers whom we are not well acquainted with. Met should then extend to different people from those whom we consider to be our enemies. Eventually, this loving kindness should be shown to all of the above equally, and from there, gradually, in the entire universe. This ideal application of met is obviously a lifelong process that is achieved through diligence. The scriptures of Theravada tradition, the Pali Canon, point out a number of benefits from practicing met meditation. These include sleeping and waking easily, free from evil dreams, being dear to humans and non-humans alike, and gaining concentration quickly. Those who cultivate loving kindness will be free from feelings of ill will, anger, or hostility. They will be at peace. It is also generally accepted that those who are around a person who is full of loving kindness will also feel more comfortable and happy too. As the Buddha taught, thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, but the life of a single candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Kindness in Islam. The believers in their love, mercy, and kindness to one another are like a body. If any part of it is ill, the whole body shares sleeplessness and fever. The Prophet Muhammad. Kindness in Islam is closely aligned with respect. Islam's social responsibilities are based on kindness and consideration of others. Islam defines responsibilities, and rights within various interpersonal relationships, and emphasizes specific acts of kindness. We should first show kindness to our immediate family, parents, spouse, children, and siblings. This is our first obligation. At the top of the list of those deserving respect and kindness are one's parents. Islamic teaching heavily emphasizes this, and it's considered an important part of the Muslim's expression of faith. The Quran states, "Your sustainer has decreed that you worship none but him, and that you be kind to parents, whether one or both of them attain old age in your lifetime. Do not say to them a word of contempt, nor repel them, but address them in terms of honor." 17:23 and 24. Muslims are also obligated to show kindness and respect to neighbors, fellow Muslims, and others in the community. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "He is not a believer who eats his fill when his neighbor beside him is hungry, and he does not believe whose neighbors are not safe from his injurious conduct." A Muslim also has a moral responsibility to all living beings, including animals and plants. Hunting of animals for sport is not permitted. Those who are kind and consider to Allah's creatures, Allah bestows His kindness and affection on them. Show kindness to the creatures on the earth, so that Allah may be kind to you. Hadith Abu Dawud and Tim. Again, I apologize for butchering some of this. These moral characteristics are meant to foster a higher system of morality within Muslim communities. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, set a good example of respect and kindness. One story tells of how an old woman would throw her trash on him whenever he would pass her house on his way to the mosque. Whenever he would steadily pass by without showing anger or annoyance, this was a regular event. One day the Prophet was walking by and noticed the woman was not there. He stopped and knocked on her neighbor's door asking where she was. He was told that the woman was sick and in bed. The Prophet asked permission to see her, and when allowed into the house, the woman thought he had come for revenge, now that she was sick and unable to defend herself. But the Prophet had not come for revenge. He was there to look after her in sickness, as Allah commands that Muslims should help those who are sick. The woman was so moved by the kindness of Muhammad, that the kindness Muhammad displayed, that she had a change of heart and accepted Islam. The story demonstrates the power of kindness and respect. If Muhammad had sought revenge against this woman, or had cursed or scorned her as she threw trash on him, he would have only perpetrated the cycle of disrespect and hate. Instead, his example of kindness and compassion absorbed the woman's hate and purified it, allowing it to then find a way back into her heart. How to be kind. There is no secret or trick There is no secret or trick to being more kind. It is something that you must have to do. However, increasing your own kindness is easier than you have a plan or path to follow. For this, I would recommend following the steps listed above in the description met by them. And on the site, the U.S. Universal Lecture site, there is a picture of such thing. The forbidden I'm so if you want to take a look, you can always come to theministry.org and look under sermons. First, focus on increasing your kindness to yourself. That means treating your body and your mind with respect. It doesn't mean splurging and buying yourself treats or gifts. For example, if you had a stressful day, give yourself time at night to reflect, unwind, and meditate. This process can include things like working out, taking a relaxing bath, treating yourself with kindness, and also include eating healthier, getting a proper amount of sleep, and avoiding negativity. Next, work toward showing increased kindness to your friends and family. Methods on how you can do so depend on your situation. Use common sense to identify ways where you can give someone a friendly compliment, a favor, or a gift. However, do not overdo it, or you'll appear like you have some kind of ulterior motive. Do little things here and there is the best way to gradually increase your kindness toward others, while at the same time adjusting your habits to a new paradigm. Once you have increased your kindness to yourself and to friends and family, and are consistently doing so, you can move on to showing more kindness to strangers and people whom you are not well acquainted with. For example, if you happen to pass someone by, smile, say hello. Don't worry about what they do in response. Obviously, this won't work if you're in a crowded area. Just use some good common sense to figure out what is appropriate to your situation. Keep an eye out open for opportunities to show kindness to strangers, and if you see a chance, take it. And that will end the sermon on kindness. Since this is the first sermon of the temple possibilities, I want to give a little information on the temple and myself. I am personally a pagan. I follow the Greek gods, but the Temple of Possibilities is an all-faith church. We are dedicated to coming together by what we have in common instead of fighting over what we have our differences. We have 7 principles, which I'm trying to bring up right now. There it is. We the people, we the member congregation of the Temple Possibilities Convent to affirm and promote all faiths are valid and follow the religion that your heart says is true. Justice, equality, and compassion in human relations, which basically means points us to towards something beyond inherent worth and dignity. It points us to the larger community and gets at a collective responsibility. It reminds us that treating people as human beings is not simply something we do one-on-one, but something that has systemic implications and can inform the entire culture of well-being. Number 3, acceptance of one another and encouragement to be one's true self. Injustice is not to be ignored, and do one's best to help out the best you can. Do not hate. Number 5. Do not hate others for their differences. Love them for what you have in common. 6. The goal of world community and peace is with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Number 7. Do as you wish, but harm none. Which means, while this could be interpreted to mean do no harm at all, it's usually interpreted as a declaration of freedom to act, along with the necessary of thinking through and taking responsibility for the consequences for your action. This has been almost a half hour. But yes, if you enjoyed today's sermon and you wish to join the Temple of Possibilities, I will have the link to the Facebook group down below. That is a digital temple, at least until the foreseeable future. But I wish you all the best, and I hope you have a good day and happiness. I thank you all for watching this and spending today with me. Thank you, and I hope to see you again soon.